News at 24 as we so in summer a tregu or my mama hodos no ye de ebedaimo sekasie na insem no yehwe de ebedimu akotene ankasa so ye de ne ekochiremu ewo kole krote pelifo e de ababetu edwa ochiremu ense osu cemetery no ade se omo atumu afensu don kuma wo mrahye bejafie anande wode atu edwa ochiremu se wo sa ban ehwe na wona wodo kokko no etwa won eka weni sema hodo abete ewa kase yimu okoye Facebook na ye Cstv GH okoye YouTube so obehuyen so ewa ho like share na fenso for adwenture so so asiemi pebo no ye bekenkan ni na ede ama edi amje so eye mame ama bafua mayenda yonsumambra na ya shaya nsem no asiye de ni ewakwa akochiremu ewa Ghana mampeni akache na Ghana mampeni John Dramani Mahama oni nse wakopiemu ewa Zambia mine mu na no na twese won ekọ anase wo to adwen se ne be ya no ebeboa ma chese won kita hudin so ebetimi edimu eno na chese o mampeni ade atu edwa wo chiremu ese wo se wotimi ade wonan esisi fompa ye sansende o hwe se ne yesika esi ekwa say economy no sene ho bobre no esiti ne wo say yetimi de ye 964 pa na eboa sene be ya ebibre atoye afebusu no yebetimi ejina ye na so pamping.
This won us independence and nationhood. Now we must win the fight for economic transformation and prosperity for our people. We must confront the battle of the economic emancipation of our country at a time when global geopolitics is undergoing tectonic shifts. Today, global humanitarian assistance is shrinking, official development assistance is declining, defense spending is rising, and traditional multilateral systems are under strain. Africa therefore faces a different pandemic, the pandemic of unfulfilled potential. Millions of our young people remain unemployed, health systems are fragile, and economies extract wealth without building capacity.
Na Ghana mampeni John Dramani Mahama ekasa wieye etre no sanso ede etu edwa wo chiremu se ebibre ahase no se ekoba se oman be eho atochima na se ba omusika sema aba foma achese wo mko amahodo so ekobo bisiana no na chese obampeni echiremu ese wo sempelifo ede nhyehyeye mapa ede egu akwemu se ne be ya yenko obi man so enkonko bo bisia tichiru ne eye IMF Jimedin Mti washe eyempenifo ese wonhwe na wonfa wonan ensisi from pa ye na etimi aboa ma chese yenkan konso etimi edimu.
I had the opportunity to address global leaders in Davos, where I spoke about the Accra Reset Initiative and the urgent need for Africa to redefine its development trajectory. Too many African countries remain trapped in what I describe as triple dependency. Dependency on external actors for security choices, dependency on donors for health and education systems, and dependency on suppliers of critical minerals while capturing little or no value.
Na mayefree eye Zambia mine na yambra eye oman Ghana hanu se na omampeni abedi echire Professor Jane na opoku ajimende ode ato eye wana waye architect wana wosisi adan ewo oman Ghana hanu se adan no wosisi a wonhwe se obetimi atere ahyenu.
Beautiful buildings coming up. The windows are so narrow. I wonder why. Am I the only one seeing that? The windows are very narrow. And it looks to me that even, there's so much light out there. But it looks to me that in this particular building, even in the daytime you need light. How does that affect our energy? So why are the windows so narrow? Like no air should come in, and yet we live in the best part of the world called the tropics. So the architects, I'm always on their case. I keep saying that maybe it's not their.
Na woni se Ghana mampeni ekopiemu ewa Zambia mayinu no ohye fugu anachese wade ekoye na oswafo wohwe amahodo ensemso Samuel oku jato ablakwa eso ede atu edwa wochrebu sende wohwe yefugu na eya hye wo se bibia atoye afe wo so wetimi ebo wo homode se fugu no so obetimi ahye bi no ochremu a wohwe Dr. Kwame Nkrumah achese na Ghana's independence no sab de no anase sab ebre no ade se o chef fugu nti wo se ebibra to ya fem ni na otimi chef fugu ni benetimi eno so etimi ekọ nkan.
Ghana became the haven, the headquarters for the independence struggle. And as you would know, the founder of Zambia, Kenneth Kaunda, was in Accra, worked closely with Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And it was therefore not surprising that in 1964, when Zambia eventually won its independence struggle, Ghana was the first African country to recognize formally the independence of Zambia and establish diplomatic relations with Zambia. As part of our business model, we need to support our presidents in this renaissance. It will be beautiful to see fintech companies invest in logistics that will lead to the easy movement, the easy transportation of our unique, beautiful fabrics and traditional wares or cultural wares from one country to the other. And as the fugu becomes the most talked about attire in Zambia today, it will be nice to see the fintechs link up with our fugu makers, most of them young women, very vibrant and enterprising, to see how you transport the now famous fugu from Ghana to Zambia and to the entire African region.
Na siapombe yese anainen de woti etuani na efa enyema ba ko mienu bia wo hwe enim se Ghana ba betimi aye ede amomo na nde ana twese National Labor Commission penifo so ede ba betu edwa wo chebu se wo se eye siapon anan no wotimi ehwe na oye chira twese wo ye ewo oman mu no wotimi ede konkon ho na mo ba na yetimi ekasa
senior staff no any FUSAG, any TWI, any TWAG. Na TWAG for no more representative by, or no buy, no, or no pen or buy from on side, or no can say one call strike. Well, and Uber who say in the letter you can say so almost your moon can dear, one call true, na one can say they are not part of it. And say who was striking, so according to the law, there's no way your matters can be heard. Because after all, me say me boo, na say me boo, and then that is it. And before, commission can say or Betty was saying no. At least again in accordance with the law, you have to call off the strike. And so yeah, free one now, one more etiano. At least it was some calling it off. Now one more but one more. And ti one man no asem potting ti omo call strike no yen to minka yes na omo buy mpo na say still omo call you of strike no asem no yen to minka this omo call you of strike and ti letter no e ka che won say one must stop strike with immediate effect. One must stop strike now. One calling it off. Any suspension, they should call it off. That's what the law says. The law says you should call it off. It doesn't talk about suspension. And see, calling it off, dear. After dear, then they will be invited to come with employers. No, I can't say no. And that is the order that they have been given to call off the strike. Yema won let us say on the 4th. Na yenshia won. And on the 3rd, no, one more strike. And commission na etie strike asem no. Commission no SCT on Thursdays and Wednesdays. And though we had a lot of cases, this is an emergency because there's a call for a strike. And yeshishe say on the 4th, mumra na yentie asem no. On the 3rd, na omoko strike. On the 4th, woman back.
Na amanoba efri mpenifo eho eba enese okopiemu ewo osu emukrabia eye osu cemetery honma adehye bi na chese wotu onite ede esisa cemetery ho a chese okosie wumunu ewo ho a obetutu amanano eyi nipa no ede ne efri manase nyema chese akede a wode ehhehye ne ho no obeyi ni na wakwa akoton na nde ya meka se mesin krachi peni owo kole klote eye Alfred ato Gazing. And it's about to a jaw trip as a best bosom immunity. I dare say, wow, Benya Umu, and I say, person will cry Umu, I will also cemetery, no, and I dare say, Bema who quite know I could see in the pan.
Indeed, when we verify, we realize that that activity was ongoing. And so what we've done now, by calling the press, is to inform the general public that we want to put a hold on the burials in the Osu Cemetery, so we can then evaluate and make an audit and find out whether we have space, because currently from what we are seeing we don't have space. Once in a while you see skeletons around, but then definitely when they dig they will take the skeletons out because they don't want anybody to come and see. But where you buried your loved one, you go there and you see that place has been dug and the tomb has been desecrated. Okay, so that's how we are able to see that is what they do, but they don't keep the skeletons around. Permit. People had already come for permits, and that we should allow that window to allow the people to bury their dead. Now that we've issued permits, we cannot say we are withdrawing the permit. So we are giving a 2-month window to allow them to bury. After that, then we'll put an embargo and then do our audit. And then once we come out with the report, we'll all be understand or be happy what we need to do for the Osu Cemetery.
Na my free a year in crime popone mantem na yefa ye ni entremu ewo oti mantem na oti mantem swafo John Kojo Japan and so nende wode kokobo ede ama mensin craching pendufo wo oti mantem say omode omonsa ahye nkrata bi ase ye 2026 performance contract ase no de atu eja wo trebu ese wa yama wo de bre anase yama wo adwuma bi se na ejuma no chese wamba ho modin ewo ma ade se omo ebeyi wo efro.
If you don't do well, the coordinating director will begin. He will sack you. You go home, the coordinating director is there. A lot of people have left this place, and the coordinating director is here. So don't be deceived by anybody telling you, and this and that. No. So don't look at that. Work very well with your coordinating director. But never be deceived that you can relax because your coordinating director is also relaxed. You will be sacked.
Afe ma yenjina nsenwe so na yenda ya hosima ye ba edwedie mu nsem ne dia kanso ye de beso mu.
Company Limited. So who blocks machines here a papa. None of bonso assign a former dia. Any na enwani Amsel Company Limited. Your conveyor blocks machines, hydraulic blocks machines, pallets, any blocks machines in one set using in and nothing so blocks machines are who draw opening in a being so ever. To show your child point in a year. There was Spinters Road 18 Junction. Yani KFC Dino and a dish anymore. Frey, it was 05240 and I say 0540 725850. Amsel blocks machines in Papa Efie.
Mayen Samo Vivia Aqua Babio, that's why I share area print to break us here with Cstv. So, dear me, just so a mammy, ama before they do so a JDMO and Sem. Now, ranking member, I am Rashe Bija, a bar, a food and agricultural demo, Akotenepa, Isaac Yao, Opoku, and so in there, what they are to Ghana by enemy saying they will share one natural so what dog cocoa or Maimu, a Kamia Koyese or Wako, dream pa, as I say. Sikabia was a buy a friend with me a triama. I dare say, and home so in some aka a dream now. They are two are buying enemy say at the Roma, one call her and one a cabia what they want with me a tria at their mom.
By delaying in repayment of cocoa taken over from the LBCs, these business and investments are at risk. They have their working capitals locked up, their progress hindered, and financing confidence undermined. Contrary to what the NDC preached pre-election time to promote indigenous business and investments, they have rather reset to kill indigenous companies, businesses, and enterprises in the cocoa industry. We call on governments and cocoa board to pay our cocoa farmers immediately for all cocoa beans sold and to be sold to save the cocoa industry from slipping back to days of despondency and loss of interest. We demand an apology from government and cocoa board for this gross dereliction of duty. Cocoa board must reimburse the LBCs of all outstanding repayments of cocoa purchased and delivered. We have heard from the chief executive of cocoa board trying to assign several reasons why farmers cannot be paid. Among the reasons was that the previous administration defaulted in the payment of
Na ekua ye fra won SL License Cocoa Buyers Association of Ghana ye trying to sell little bag in pay for so e dey ababetu edwa wo chere send wo share ye cocoa board and afen so ye cocoa marketing company ahodo na nde ya chese cocoa farmers wona chese wodo cocoa wo omanyimu no wo sika se ho enso aba edwemu no wo se wo de ato aban enim se adaroma won hwe na enyema chese beboa ma chese nde ye cocoa ho so etimi edimu no wanye
timi dwen ho na senke be ya ye de ne frɛ no 80-20 be ya adwuma na afin so enka ne se ne ye no syndication no so ye de be bata ho na ye timi anya nyina so mienu ahwɛ se wo ya anko ya we be koye ama ye ndwuma no atinye asita ne to su bio yese osi ye boa yen nyuma ndwuma na LBC a eto kokoo no ye hwe kwan bi so aban pe kwan bi so a obetimi abon ama o musika ama o makoso atwe kokoo no aba ena ye kan kra ne to so nyensa se aban nyina piti na onhwe se kokoo aka wo nwura mu no be ye 300,000 sie de ani bu a be 100 to 300,000 no aban nyina piti no nhwe kwan a yebetimi afa so na yatwe sa kokoo no aba emre bi atwam na nka aban ne sesa nka titrani ne pe a oye chief executive no ene sesa no sese nso de hwe aban a atwam ene aban a wo ho a nsisaye na timi koso ama se bio wanhwe kura na ofidikani kura na ono nso yakosesa no ntiama se pepe oye ene no kwaredi enni on ye adwuma wo ho no ehu abanye ba ye ne koko bonkita odinu asipia sita ba ye pese ye san hye mu kena efise ohawa abai ye nim se ye hye mu kena ne nkita odinu emu esipia ye betimi enyi abo ye ho amasa ohawi eso aba kwan ye fa so to ye nkoko sese no e wo se yetimi dwen ho na senke be ya ye de ne frɛ no 80-20 be ye adwuma na afenso enkane se ne ne ye ne syndication no so ye de be bata ho na yetimi anya nyinaso mienu ahwɛ sese wo ya anko ya
na my free edwediemo ensem na yefa yeni entremo ewo obi man so na onim se odefo ne bosom da beto so edu enan Valentine's Day adofo eda nda meka se kinyoman no ede nsem aba betu edwa wo chirebo ese wo se ekame akoye se yetimi ede sika bouquet ede ema adofo na mpedifo echiremu a afi we die wo obeye bouquet ana wo di sika aye bouquet ede akoma wadafo anase ode akoma obi aye bechewo no ade se mra ene obede obekwa akoda efiase be se fie eson mayenjira se we so na yenda ye hosima ye ba godie bu sam ne de aka so ye de beso bia akwaba bio na yeremu ewo agodiemu ensem na kane soafo na ohwe agodiemu ensem Edwin ni Lante van der Poy inde odi atu edwa wo chirebo se o se Ghana ban ayese wo behwe ama chese supporters yehwe nim se yede won ebekọ USA Canada no mutimi akobo Ghana Blasters echidom no yesi foto bia ewo se yetimi ede eba na supporters no so bet me enya akonya ade akọ US man mu no ya de aba no pani echiremu a sa fan no anase foto a chese impenifo ede eba se ye bo na afa yetimi ede supporters na akọ akopie mu ewo US no ono de ompene so.
Minister has done well by taking that difficult decision to have supporters flown to the US and Canada and Mexico to support our team. My only problem has to do with the decision of the white paper on the Democratic Commission that says that the state must not finance any supporters to any tournament involving our national teams, not only the Black Stars. So going by private initiative, mobilizing private funds and private resources to be able to achieve this very important objective is a very worthy cause. And I think I will commend the minister for it. What is important is the caveat he brought, that the number of supporters and who will be going will be dependent on how much we will raise.
Na Matilda Jifa Domedo and so there in Sawa to Jawo will say and they Black Queens Omasha say Wafcon Omasha Montotoye Asia say a Pink Ladies Cup no or shade themselves also be to be Alco a United Arab Emirates na ye Chirimwa ye tournament and as a case no Ghana Kahon Russia Hong Kong and Alpha so Tanzania so also a Kahon Ebi Sema Matilda Jifa Domedo eden isem etuja.
Enyo mubeko nyina na yakogada or one particular place. That is to start our pre-tournament campaign. If BBN mensi na ntotoye eko sena wose ekwa from 20th of February kodiena ese ye movie akọ into pre-tournament preparatory mode. Into the meeting council they track so amagana for nyina ne say Wafcon 2024 abesini twem support it was very massive. Social media, PR, TV, so radio, so no be about Black Queens din because at least ya tournaments near Koya and be in winning massy. Maybe to me, I can confidently say this time around ye choir, ye bit mama performance, no, I show. And I say a little bit ahead of the year in 2024, the 90 Empire number 1, Omofa entire cheap. Now, among Black Queens on pipe, apart from that, and so more support here. I won't bet my Morocco support here, no, Yamisha, no mama support, no, it's me, I take them.
Enu tinu Matilda Jifado Medona to say wo kasana ye free honum na ye de ni etremu ewo enigedie mu ensem na amasama high court ana che say na anu ada ne beto eja say ye mame agrada ade say 15 years a ye de ema na ye sentence no omo at sokra che say 14 day ana say 14 years de omo yi efri so che say aka 1 year pe eno ana che say adehye Ghana adehye echrebu ese senia ohwe atayi kronogbo a wo boy ya yede ni koto efiase 70 years no onu ne kronogbo na say onu asotwe no enya kra na ohwe agrada achesende wobu amanfo pa wagege wo sika ama chese mbim kra afemu ato nananam ewo insiedo ya says 1 year chese yede ama mami enya de se eso ni kra
Ghana your men be a penny 40 more dinner to the extent say onyani ni bi a na se mobo ofi se agrada body we ni atai case enyepe agrada kwakọ no wobon ko mu odi cha atai die o ba atai wo afiase agrada ba fie ya ma fie ba ko so metre fie oba tina o men ma pokro no awia sika asisi enyafa jomsema sika ayeye kokko hwe ajapade wa sika wu kokko to hwe ajapade o na hwe nyapade agrada wo aja agrada atipio na mo si ya ja agrada ya ma ni fie dunu 15 years ya dia tum ewi akira ya si ya ya appeal nti ya mfie dunu 14 years free ni mfie so say 1 year for no better 1 year kwa say obesha ase o e bosu ya send o prison no ya de kan ya ja no ya ni hwe ya beka kire o man mpanipo enya for the asma mobo ya hwe na anu adom ko hia court awure ya oba yo se ne bansa agada na bo pa mo ya ne basa ne bansa sa no dia na ye ka fa ho ye nya ne betre fie onyame be di o ni bi asema ma do ba agrada ade ye hye ne kose ni hwe
na Ghana mampeni John Dramani Mahama waba okopie mu ewo Ghana Zambia Business Forum chese nkitangudie ekoso woni Zambia mpendifo table ode atudwa wo trewe se nanwada I speed ebepie mu ewo omai Ghana hanu ese no wetimi abrante no senia nyema esi ekoye ende wo hwe abafide tintan so a nipa be yese 20 million ana wo pe Ghana echira kwan tichu ana fe ye share bata na se yenkuto a jese ye de etiti ebole ya ho yenti senia eye o mampeni John Dramani Mahama echeche nsem FI.
There was a young American influencer, they call them influencers now, who, I don't know if he came to Zambia, but he came through several African countries. Yeah, and I'm just talking about the power of the new media. And he came through Ghana. And we have a product we call Shea Butter. Women love it a lot because now it's in a lot of cosmetic products. It's in creams and all that because of the good effect it has on the body. And apparently I didn't know that we had a Shea Butter museum in Ghana. And this young man visited. And he had a good massage with Shea Butter. There were about 10 girls with shea butter massaging him. And you know, after the visit, he left. And I'm told that after he left, there were millions of searches on the internet for what shea butter is and what shea butter can be used for. And he did more advertising for us than we could do ourselves. After he left, it's reported that there were 20 million searches for Ghana. I mean, where is Ghana, what is Ghana about, and all that. And so we can use it to advantage, but at the same time it has its downsides. And that's where fintech and cyber security and all that comes in.
Yevejina in some way so na kase yeboabo no nina no yede ebesi ewa hanwumeko we ana almost so ya say yede kase so ede ebeso mo Sarah's Dream Jewelries omo owo Kaneshi Asafo Achashi Street Amsel Block Machinery and Block Manufacturing and so ewo sprinters of the KFC no ana edi edem Sherima Ocean Agency and so ewo Kaswa Amanfrum KS Perfumes Co Limited ewo Dansuma Runabout Celestry Tom Brown Wakaswa Aman from Napa Apartment Hotel. Ewa Dansuman First Lane, Crystal Director Shop so ewa East Lego Amoni American House no. Ana ebo share meda Sylvester Mary ana fe Papa Sly Brown Patrick as say na omontimi aboa ma chese ye news na say print break kase no ye de akwa akogu edi amenye so maame ama Bafwa Macram.